Hey guys, welcome back to another exciting episode of Doc Loyal Talks Comics. And today we're going to look at the highly anticipated books that are coming out for June the 17th. So hopefully this will go a little bit smoother than it did last week, but let's just wait and see. So what's our first book that we're going to look at? We are going to look at The Amazing Spider-Man issue number 31. Let's see if that loads. Okay. More ads, all of this fun stuff. All right, so this is The Talk, and it is supposed to be one of the biggest issues of Amazing Spider-Man ever, because we have been introduced to Mr. Crane, Cormac Crane, and he's being built up to be Aunt May and Uncle Ben's biological son. Now, I wonder if that's payoff is going to work out, or if we're going to see it kind of flop. This is going to be done by Joe Kelly with art by Patrick Gleason and colors by Marcio Menes. So that's my big book for this week. But what else do we have? We have Battle Beast issue number 10. And this is Battle Beast, good lord, these ads. Battle Beast versus Conquest. So it's a book that a lot of people that have been reading or did read Invincible back in the day, they see it's interesting because it ties into both the Invincible world and it ties into Battle Beast's continuing quest to find something big and bad enough to take him out. So if you're not reading this book, it's written by Robert Kirkman with art by Ryan Ottley, and it is one of the coolest books that is out on the shelves. I thoroughly enjoy each and every issue of it. Back in the day, I would have loved to have had some more Ryan Ottley on The Amazing Spider-Man. But you get to see here that I guess if he has to miss a month due to family obligations, things like that, then he has more time. Whereas when he was doing ASM, train kept rolling and it's a machine. You can't stop. But here, if he wants to take a few months off in between to get caught up, to give Robert some family time with his family, to take some family time for himself, he can do that. And you can see in the artwork how much love and support that he has for these characters. All right, what else do we have here? We have got Something is Killing the Children, issue number 48 by James Tynion IV, and come on, man, Werther Dell'Edera. The hunt at the Lodge continues as the Slaughterverse intensifies. Is Jessica's past experience at the Lodge the key to their survival? So you've still got Erica and Jessica having to face off a treacherous pack of monsters in the woods. So this book is starting to stir, starting to cook just a little bit again, whereas it had stopped, in my opinion. It had stopped for quite some time because I don't mind getting the backstory on Erica Slaughter, but I want to see her further adventures. I keep banging it like a dead horse. I keep banging it like a dead drum. I want to see another Archer's Peak, another 15 part story that just absolutely gives you something that you're not getting on any of the other books that you're reading. So I'm getting excited to see what issue number 50 is going to bring, and hopefully you'll get to see something explosive happen for Erica and company at that point. All right, what else do we have? We also have Deathstroke the Terminator, issue number 4, which is Tony Fleecs and Carmine Di Giuliano. and that has turned out to be one of my favorite books of all time that DC has done. They have brought a very interesting point to Slade Wilson and given me a reason to really want to read up on the character. And this cover says the family that slays together stays together. So we're going to get some more twists and turns. This book is just one of those non-stop twist and turn type of books. And I absolutely love it every month that it comes out. Next is G.I. Joe number 23. This is going to be Joshua Williamson with Andrea Milana. And we get part 2 of this 3-part Crystal Ball story. And G.I. Joe, unfortunately, is one of those books that I've dropped off of just because of monetary reasons. But if you guys have been reading this from the beginning, you know how exciting Joshua Williamson can be and how much he loves these G.I. Joe characters and what kind of story he's trying to tell for these characters to make them interesting for not just this generation, but for 10, 15, 30 years down the road, that people will still be wanting to tell stories with these characters. And Milana's artwork, he has really stepped it up. When he fills in for Tom Riley, it looks great. It's got a lot of adventure and energy built into his books. So I'm not upset at all that we're not getting Tom Riley back until the double-sized issue number 25, I believe. All right, what else do we have here? Look at 1 or 2 more books here before we're done. All right, get rid of this ad for the 17,000th time. The book that everybody says is one of the best books on the shelf, Redcoat. It's one of Jeff Johns' Ghost Machines books. And I'm reading Rook Exodus, but I dropped off of Hyde Street. I'm trying to think what other books I might have picked up from that series or from that imprint. But that's the main one that I'm not reading, and I've heard really great things. Brian Hitch is still working on it as artist, and Jeff Johns as writer. So if you hadn't taken the time to check that out, you should probably should. Walking Dead Deluxe always satisfies because we're at issue 139, so we're getting towards the final act of the series. And the simple fact that they've gone back and redone every single one of these issues in color by Dave McCaig is just nuts. That book is great. Absolutely great. I don't want to try Adobe Express Photos right now, but thank you for offering. Okay, and I did pick up digitally Of the Earth issue number 1, and that one is done by Chris Condon and Charlie Adlard. And Charlie Adlard, of course, of Walking Dead fame, and that book was really, really interesting. We're going to get to see more about not just zombies, but the way that this world is set up. And what did it say about this second issue here? It said, a representative for the oil company, Thomas Morton, arrives at the Winters Ranch to investigate the strange phenomena surrounding Grandma Betty and a missing oil worker. So we got a shock at the last issue where we see Grandma Betty hiding in one of the back rooms in her house, and it looks like she's been attacked by, pretty much by an oil slick, because she's just covered in black ink, inky substance. So this could be really, really good. Chris Condon usually is, in my opinion, kind of a mid writer. He's not great, he's not terrible, but in the end, you do get to see how much he loves these characters and loves this medium. So check out Of the Earth issue number 2 from Image. All right, and one last issue to look at here, guys. Let's see what we have here. None of those. Here we go. So after many, many years away, Paul Chadwick is coming back with a 5-part story with Concrete, his most interesting character. And it says, Concrete has entered the desert and not come back. Larry and Maureen are frantic. Reports come in. He's wandering the nearby arid mountains covered with blood and attacking people. Concrete, lightning struck and confused, roams a frightening world that he can't understand. Roars tear across the sky. A strange globe rises. His body is sheathed in stone and he thinks he's being hunted. So you get to see this beautiful cover that Paul Chadwick created. This character is one that you read kind of like Swamp Thing, where his speech pattern is not as slow and contracted, but at the same time, you still get to see a character who thinks as much as he acts. So if you never had a chance to check out Concrete, see if you can go back and find, I know a couple years ago they had all of the Concrete stories were on Comixology Unlimited, and I think now they're on Kindle Unlimited. And so you can read all the previous trade paperbacks for free. You don't even have to, it doesn't cost you anything as long as you have Amazon Prime and maybe Kindle Unlimited. But Concrete is one of those great characters that Paul Chadwick does not feel the necessity, nor does he have to, come out with a new book every single month with this character. Because instead he takes his time, steps away for a little while, and brings out something thoughtful and very thought-provoking, something that makes you think. It's a thinking man's or woman's comic book. So I can't wait to see where we go with Concrete and Dark Horse Comics with Stars Over Sand. So that is it for this week's video, guys, for some of the most anticipated books that are coming out in my radar. Let me know what you thought. Again, this is from LeagueOfComicGeeks.com that I use this information to show you the books that are coming out this week. And of course, we have Absolute Batman issue number 21. How could I forget that before we leave? I read the first 4 issues of that book, dropped off of it. It's okay, in my opinion, but it just doesn't scratch the itch that I'm looking for in a Batman book. It's over the top, it's zany, it's crazy, it's everything that I should enjoy from a Batman book. But I guess sometimes I'm just kind of stubborn and pig-headed, and if people tell me over and over, hey, you're supposed to like this, sometimes I don't. So, just one of those things. But who's doing the art on this issue? Nick Dragotta is back. So you've got Scott Snyder as writer and Nick Dragotta as artist, colorist Frank Martin. And it says, Scarecrow's reign of terror continues. Friends become enemies, enemies become friends, and final forms are revealed. And Scarecrow's reign of terror threatens to upend everything. So like I said, if you want something that's energetic, bombastic, just explodes off the page with every moment that you have and every image that you see, then that's the book for you. But I just didn't care for it. So anyway, guys, this is from League of Comic Geeks on this website. It tells you how you can, it shows you what books are coming out each week, and then it even gives you a chance to make a pull list so that you get an email every single week about what's coming out. You know what books you're supposed to be picking up. It doesn't set you up with a comic shop or anything like that, but it gives you an idea so that you don't miss out on important comics that you really wanted, or miss out on covers, because it also shows the variant covers. Let me see real quick and see if I can find a book that might have. Let's do G.I. Joe again. Okay, open order covers. You've got one with the Baroness. And what else do you have? Looks like you've got a Tom Rowley Energon Universe Connecting Version variant. So it gives you an idea of not only what's coming out, but all the covers so that you don't miss out on anything that you want. So it's a great website if you hadn't had a chance to check it out. Anyway, guys, that's it for this video. Thanks for watching. I appreciate your time. And if you have not, hit that like and subscribe so that you can see more videos just like this. And guys, have a wonderful, wonderful week. It's Tuesday. We've almost made it to the new comic book day. So check out League of Comic Geeks this afternoon if you've never done it, and figure out what you're going to go pick up at the shop tomorrow. Thanks for watching, guys. Have a wonderful day, and I will catch you later.